Hey there! Welcome to season 2 of Raise the Brow with Nishka and Malaika. If you've been with us through season 1 and are still here, then hey, we love you. And if you're new here, then welcome, welcome, welcome. This season, we have lined up stories of some kick ass Indians from across the globe who are reshaping our Indian society by being who they are. Because, log kya bolenge. This season, we are also bringing in some experts on relationships, love, sex, life, and everything that happens in between. So, we hope you enjoy this episode as much as we have enjoyed putting it together.
So, Dr. Rashi, you are a psychiatrist in Meerut, and if I got this right, you help women understand how their body and their mental health affect each other. Is that what it is?
Yes, because the majority of females that I'm working with and who come to me, they're in that kind of a age group who are not aware what's happening with them. So mostly
Okay.
my work revolves around educating them first and making them realize that a lot of things can be changed by lifestyle only and they do not necessarily require medications in a great deal.
Hmm. So, this is actually the perfect day to be recording this podcast because my period started yesterday. So, I have all the awesome PMS stuff going on, also have some new acne to show off. I'm very ready for this podcast. So, but what I want to understand is that let's begin with something that we all hear about a lot when we're growing up. At least Malaika and I did. The term hormonal imbalance. So I was 14, 15 when I was told कि तुम्हारा hormonal imbalance है. So I still didn't, and for 10 years I had no idea what that means. Only in my 20s I started Googling, understanding कि पहली बात तो what does each hormone do? How does it affect me? So can you tell us, as an expert, ki, what does it mean when you have a hormonal imbalance?
A hormonal imbalance is different for everyone. Like you and me are different, two sisters are different, mother and daughter will be different. So there's nothing like a perfect balance. And I'll show you to you like the very little diagram kind of thing that I've hand drawn. So see, we'll try to understand it very basically. So if this is, I put my days here. This is my starting point, day 1 to day 28. Okay. So the
Got it.
pink is the progesterone, E is the estrogen, the two main female hormones that we study. So it is, as I said, the 14-day ovulation happens. So before that, it is the follicular phase. The follicle is being made. Every month, your body gets ready for a baby.
Hmm.
Baby aega, baby aega, baby aega. It's preparing you for that. So follicle phase, follicle बना रही है वो कि baby आएगा तो मैं follicle उसके लिए बना रही हूँ. Then the
Hmm.
luteal phase that goes after that. So two phases it's divided. So now what happens? Follicular phase में estrogen बढ़ता है. Then it
Okay.
fluctuates again, the one that I've highlighted in yellow.
Hmm.
डे 14th डे पे क्या होता है, एक सर्ज आती है LHFS है जो बाकी और हॉर्मोन्स कॉम्प्लिकेटेड प्रोसीजर है. उस सर्ज के टाइम क्या होता है, आपका कंसीव करने का मैक्सिमम चांस होता है बिकॉज हॉर्मोन्स एक्ट एज पीक. So we've covered one hormone, estrogen.
Hmm.
It's going one peak, peak two, and then it's coming down here when it's your menstrual time again. Then we go to hormone number two, progesterone, the one in pink. So
Okay.
during the follicular phase, it was very high. Progesterone is like that thing, very enthusiastic for the baby. मेरे को बेबी चाहिए. तो वो फॉलिकल बनाने के टाइम पे बहुत enthusiastic रहता है. So it's very high during this time. Then surge happens, then it decreases. If the pregnancy was to happen at this time over here, progesterone will become very happy. वो बढ़ता रहेगा because progesterone wants the baby. So this is how it happens. So you see how during the menstrual time everything comes crashing down here.
Hmm.
जो स्टार्टिंग में था वही एंड में हो गया, बिकॉज साइकिल है ना, रिपीट होगा. So everything is coming down, crashing here. So imbalance can mean either of many things. Like your estrogen, progesterone did not peak as much as it was supposed to peak at a particular time. It or it peaked at different time. It did not peak enough. It's
Okay.
not going high enough, or it's going high enough at a separate time. So both the
Hmm.
hormones, so permutation combinations बहुत सारे हो जाएंगे इसमें.
Let's talk about something which is again very common then. जो mood swings होते हैं. तो ये तो is the most common topic of conversation if you're in a group of girls. तो ये तो आएगा ही आएगा. Even if you are strangers, friends, sisters, it just like it comes up. And then you kind of become even friendlier, na? Because you're like, oh, मेरे same mood swings होते हैं, same headaches, same anger, same like extreme crying before a period, during a period. So why does that happen?
See, statistically speaking, and many people will find this wrong also, females tend to get more of any kind of psychiatric illnesses, depression, anxiety, and even sometimes at an earlier age also because of the hormones. Because the males also have those hormones, but they are not fluctuating as much as us. They have to
Mm.
go through all that again every month. So that is kind of a reality. We are having so many hormonal changes. So why this is
Mm.
happening? As I said, there were two basic hormones, estrogen and progesterone. And all other hormones in the body are having dialogue with each other. तू मेरा ये काम कर, मेरा ये काम करूंगा.
Mm.
ठीक है? So estrogen is the one that makes the happy hormone, the serotonin. It goes and makes something, it makes something else, then it makes serotonin. So estrogen is the one that makes serotonin the happy hormone. So initially in your cycle here, you had good estrogen. So if you had any problem, you had good serotonin here. You might have like used your logical brain and dealt with it. But when you came here, just a week before your period, estrogen was very low. If you
Mm.
are not having any kind of stress at that time, life is going well. You might have just pass it like that. But if any kind of stressor occurs here, or if this is like fluctuating like this, it's not able to produce serotonin, the happy hormone, the one that's necessary for being happy, relaxed.
Mm.
Then you get kind of sad, angry over here. So serotonin was doing that. The second one, progesterone, that is the hormone that keeps you relaxed. Not
Okay.
progesterone, it gets metabolized into something else, it gets metabolized into something else.
Mm.
So that causes good sleep, that causes relaxation, so that relieves your stress. So during menstruation, the body was angry, you did not give it the baby, everything crashed down, both the hormones are very low, so the serotonin is not being made at that point of time, you're not relaxed. So little things which should not have triggered you will trigger you because your body does not have the hormone to cope up with that. But then again, there are two different things like PMS, we all have heard about it a lot. So it's premenstrual stress is a different thing, and premenstrual syndrome is a different thing. So if we have
Mm.
premenstrual stress, it's like some of my periods are bad. Sometimes I've had this acne issue. But to call it a syndrome, it has to have repeatedly, always happening before your periods, going away completely after your periods, and to the level that it is affecting your personal, social, and other working things. Then it becomes a syndrome and
Mm.
problematic when people come to us like help us now, we are not able to deal with it.
Mm.
So
So just to uh, just to kind of repeat what you were saying. So when your body is at a point where you're anyway at a low estrogen and progesterone, and at that time, if there is something stressful happening in your environment, then you are more likely to have an emotional breakdown, get angry, get upset, because your body is just not able to create the serotonin. So your environment plays a very huge role in why your, like you said, the premenstrual stress happens. Is that correct?
Yes, and if again, see, that is what I said. One third genetic loading. If already I was having low serotonin in me, if already I was kind of feeling depressed, if already there was problems going on in my life, my glass was already half empty. It
Mm.
reduced more. So that
Mm.
becomes triggering. That's why it does not happen to everybody. But mostly, it's like 60% of the women will experience PMS at some or other point in their lives.
So is it a lot to do with so is it just genes then, or is it just everything? And therefore, there is no
Everything
real
combined.
solution to why someone will have periods without pain, someone will have with pain.
Pain concept is different. Mood is
Okay.
different. Pain is different.
Okay.
Like you said, that you started having these complaints at around 2022. Same was with me.
Hmm.
People,
Hmm.
school, they used to miss school, and I was like, ऐसे ऐसे दर्द तो नहीं होता ना, इनको क्यों हो रहा है इतना pain? Until I was 27, when I started
Hmm.
having these crampful periods, I was like, oh, this is bad. Was it this that people were experiencing throughout? Though people in my family didn't have dysmenorrhea, which is painful periods.
Hmm.
So as you age, things change. Once you have a baby, things change. Everything on an everyday basis, how your environment and your genes are playing together. So it can be
Hmm.
infinite combination of why some cycles will go through very softly. You won't even realize you're having your periods. And some cycles you
Hmm.
will yourself introspect and say, okay, I need to calm down. This is just PMS happening to me.
Hmm. Okay.
This is when it is a normal situation, when you are not having any kind of hormonal imbalance and when your cycles are regular.
Hmm.
But if your
Okay.
cycles are not regular, you are having problem in that phase also. As I showed, the hormones are fluctuating more. The more the hormone fluctuates, the more irregularities occur and the more complaints you have. But then again,
Hmm.
as I said, to make a clinical diagnosis, it needs to be problematic enough to hamper your life. It does not mean that my pain, like I am rating my pain 1 on 10 and you're rating your pain 9 on 10. But if it is still problematic for me, it is problematic for me.
Okay.
Then goes a different thing, PMDD, which people are not aware about and which people actually face. This is premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which is the one problematic that every cycle you are having mood changes, anger problems, sleep disturbances, like actual fights, crying for no reason, and it goes on every month for a duration of 5 to 6 days before. You are completely fine after your periods, and then it becomes that kind of a disorder which needs a lot of management.
Hmm. Okay. So then I have a question. Disorder वाला तो निकाल दो फिर, because then that's really not in your control. It's a physical reaction that you're having, right? But coming to the emotional side of it, which again I'm assuming comes from your hormones in any case, because everything comes from there. But is
Hmm.
there anything that can be done when you're in your cycle and you're having mood swings? Because sometimes what happens is तब तो समझ नहीं आता है, 2-3 दिन बाद अचानक समझ आता है कि हो क्या रहा है, like then it suddenly hits you that okay, that's why I was being unreasonable, or that's why I was so sad or angry or whatever. But is there anything that can actually be done which can maybe at least ease the pain in terms of your mood swings, not the physical part of it?
See, charting helps. Like previously, people used to do it on paper. Now we are lucky enough to be living in an era of technology, so we have those apps.
Hmm.
So apps is a good reminder, and now the apps, they have various features. You can track your mood also in them. like your
Hmm.
period date, your mood, your ovulation date. So it's good, and not even people who have married or want to conceive, like it's, I give this advice on a daily basis. Have that app. Matlab, you should have this app on your phone. Track your mood. Sometimes things that you might be thinking are just PMS, and when you start tracking, maybe it's going beyond the duration and it is a kind of a mild depressive disorder. It might be anxiety, and just because it has become cool to say that, oh, it's that time of the month, so we
Hmm.
can't shun it off. It might be an actual problem that we are facing, and we might need help for that.
Hmm.
And help can be given in various forms, as you said, how to manage that. So sometimes supplementation, these are all like studied literature. Sometimes calcium deficiency, so taking around 1200 milligrams of calcium in a week before your period helps. Sometimes taking B6, that is multivitamins that you usually take, B6 you take. So all these studies have been done on alternate medicine as to what we can do if we don't want to give female that particular hormone for that kind. Plus, yes, scheduling and journaling helps. Supporting family helps. If you have a partner in a relationship, a good partner helps because they know they will not trigger you at that time. And if you're behaving in a certain way, they're like, okay, we'll talk 2 days later. But they won't actually say that because that will create a fight.
Yes, I'll be very triggered if somebody said that to me. If my husband said that to me, I'd be like,
Yeah, so
why?
that is another triggering point. So I, yes,
Yeah.
having a supportive partner helps. So my husband, I would advise guys, you have that app on your phone. You also track us.
I think that's awesome
So
advice for
yes,
all the men who
men
are
need to
watching
start
and listening.
tracking.
Yeah. Start tracking your girlfriends and partners' periods
It
and
is
moods,
nice.
man.
See,
Yeah.
I think 10-20% she'll be so like, oh, you're doing this for me. So she
और
will just
वैसे
be happy.
आदमी का ही भला होने वाला है, because then he'll be prepared. तो भला तो आदमी का भी है कि if he knows when is she going to get into her period, when should I know that the moods are going to start, the pain is going to start, or any of those things. So yes,
Yeah.
definitely agree with that one.
I am very pro, like anti pain. I don't bear pain. I don't let people bear pain at all. For people who come to me and say कि दर्द की दवाई नहीं खाएंगे, हम इससे आदत पड़ जाएगी. So I tell them, okay,
Mm,
stop taking paracetamol when you get fever. अपने आप
Hmm.
ठीक हो जाएगा, मत लो.
mm, mm.
And plus, we have enough things and people in the world to fight for and fight with. Why do you want to
Yeah.
fight with your own body when it is paining that much? Who are you trying to prove anything? It's a personal choice. But otherwise, why do you want to bear that torture? It is a scientific thing. Your uterus is trying to push things out. So it contracts that badly and it is pushing things out. Why do you want to bear those severe contractions? We have all faced them. We know how deadly they are.
Yeah. डॉक्टर राशि यू आर साइकाइट्रिस्ट इन मेरठ जब हम ये स्टेटमेंट अपनी टीम के साथ ही बात कर रहे थे हमारी टीम में एक बंदा है शशांक वो मेरठ में रहता था for a couple of years and when he also heard this he was like oh my god how does she survive how does she what does she do he was like shocked so like I mean we don't want to be like putting you on the spot but actually we do where you are a psychiatrist in Meerut, and to
A
add to
female.
that, you're a woman. So, what is that like, yaar? What is your daily experience like? And you
Okay,
also
so
look very young.
usually when females take up medicine, like take MBBS, they start going into the profession. In second, third year only, people start asking and saying things like, "आप gynae करोगे ना?
Oh,
आप तो delivery कराओगे." मतलब even people because was privileged enough to be born in a family where both my parents are doctors. My father is a physician and my mom is a pediatrician. So she herself did not take up gynae, and we are like, we have this whole group of like 20-25 doctors every 15-20 days sitting together, and even coming from them, these kind of talks used to trouble me because I did not have that kind of a surgical inclination from the beginning. This is a normal thing. आप गायनी करने के लिए क्या सोचा है? It's not a question mark. It's like, what do you want to do after that? So maybe that was also a nail in the coffin कि अब तो बिल्कुल नहीं करना है.
अड़ गए बस.
So yeah. So now when you take up something, as it is, you are a female, problem number one. Going out in the society and trying to earn a livelihood, problem number two. Living in a patriarchal society with deeply enrooted, problem. Trying to be independent, problem. Then trying to choose a field which is very male dominated. Like I used to go to conferences and the only females there were me and my colleague.
Oh, wow.
With how many people in the conference?
So I was in Dehradun, so it was not a very big, it's not like a lot of doctors. But see, even if in a group of 25, if you are two females, the representation is very less.
Gosh.
Like we have heard the name that panels have been turned into manels.
Yes. Yes.
So it kind of feels weird when, I don't mean it in a bad way. Obviously, they are psychiatrists, they are trying their best to help the society. But something I feel when you have gone through them, only then you can empathize with them. And females, they come to me who have been to a lot of male psychiatrists, and sometimes they tell me things that they said that they were shy to tell to other people. Because we live in that kind of a society, we are not open that much that they can go to the male doctor in the first visit, they won't tell कि मेरे को periods में दिक्कत होती है. And in my first visit only, I take around 30 to 45 minutes per patient first visit. So I have a full menstrual history, I have a full family history, I know if she has had any miscarriages, abortions, live children, her family status, if she is living in a joint family, which is a problematic thing to begin with. So if I pass off any statement like अच्छा घर में बहुत लोग रहते हैं, परेशान रहती है, then she starts crying and be like, nobody has asked me this before.
Oh.
So yes, it is, and a lot of things happen to me also. And whenever these kind of sexist thing happen to me, so the first thought that comes into my mind always is that I am coming from a place of privilege. If this is happening to me, what is happening with other people? If I and my male colleague are going somewhere, the staff might not wish me. I'm saying things are very small, but sometimes when it's happening on a daily basis, it might affect you. The guard might not reserve a parking for you.
But he will for your male colleague.
Yeah, so I'm saying things are very small. I have to find my own parking. I have to go on the streets again and again. And when the male colleague comes, he's like, "Sir, आप गाड़ी लगाओ, मैंने आपके लिए जगह बचा रखी है."
Oh.
That's frustrating.
That is very frustrating because you're just being treated differently for your gender, nothing else. You're the same qualification, you're in the same profession.
When they move, people move around them, and I have to like, excuse me, please, जगह दे दो जाने के लिए. Very simple things like that. I have to, half of the time I wear my white apron just to tell that I am a doctor, give me space to move around. Males can go in there. Usually now we have this dress code. We use aprons everywhere for hygienic purpose also.
Yeah.
But initially, half of the time I was just wearing it to tell that I am a doctor.
So basically, it's not enough कि तुम आपने actually पढ़ाई की है. You have to prove now that I am a doctor. You could like assert. So
I got it written over my apron.
Yeah.
Dr.
My
Rashi.
name and my degree. Like in the Western countries, it is a norm that you wear your apron and your name is embossed over there. It's not a norm over here. I saw it somewhere and I got it written just for the purpose. At least if somebody's coming and asking me something, they can see this.
So that before they ask you something, they're like, okay, ठीक है. She's actually a doctor and not a. What do they think you are? What are you doing in the hospital?
Oh, I can be many things. See, I'll tell you. I can
Except
be
a doctor.
I can be a technician who's using a laptop and helping the doctor. I can be the doctor's assistant who's just taking your history to tell to the real doctor. I can be your sister. I can be Didi. And otherwise, 80% of the time, I'm nurse.
Acha. How
Of
do you
course.
deal with
Sometimes
that
even
mentally, yaar, Rashi? How is that? How do you deal with that mentally, personally?
it is an internal joke now. Like it's been going on around for so long. You and your male colleague are going somewhere. The patient will skip you and ask the male doctor कि ये कहाँ पे है आप I am standing right here. They look through you. And especially in your training years, and at that time you are young also. See, 17, 18-year-olds, your first time started going to the hospital. You are with the patient and they are like, sister ye, sister ho. And the male like, doctor साहब आपको पता है?
So, Dr. Rashi, before we end this podcast, we ask our guests this question, and we're going to ask you the same question. So, how do you think that we can raise the bar as Indians globally? What can we be doing differently, better, changing anything to elevate ourselves and also then, help everybody else that we interact with, family, friends?
See, culturally, that is a very debatable thing that I say. Culturally, I always have felt that we are more forward than the West. Very debatable thing, but there are very strong points for me to prove that we had a female president a long time back.
Mm.
Our culture initially was very pro women. Women were queens, and somewhere something went wrong. It's a long story, but yes, how can we improve today? Women have started going out to work. They are living independently, earning financially. They're doing a lot of things, unimaginable things women are doing. I think talking about it and yes, sometimes being rude and calling people out
Mm.
because it's the butterfly effect. If I flip my wings here, it's the effect is going to show somewhere else. The butterfly effect is a huge deal. So no matter how small a difference we make, we have to remember that the difference is still there.
Mm.
So try calling out people around you when they're behaving in a certain manner, no matter if it's your family member, it's your friend. If they say something sexist or something which is not good, like a day in and day out, people come to me and they say, "हमारे ये घर वाला पागल हो गया." Very frequently, mental illnesses has been called things like this. So I'm saying, आपको ये word किसने बताया? मैंने तो नहीं बोला. आपको किसने बताया? ऐसे पागल हो गया उनका. आप ये word नहीं बोल सकते. This is wrong. You tell them. और आप घर पे भी सबको बताओगे कि ये मत बोलो. So you are like teaching one family at a time that this is wrong. They don't know about it. Similarly with sexism also. If somebody says something sexist, you have to point it out. Even if you don't want to come out as a rude person, just point it out. This is wrong. That does not happen.
So when something is wrong, be brave and call it out. And don't be a silent
We
spectator.
have to.
Yeah.
We are just increasing because ये सब चुप रहने से ही तो हुआ है इतने सालों से. In
Absolutely.
families like where the grandmother was very vocal about a lot of things, the granddaughters were very fortunate to have that kind of open atmosphere. So if we start this today, we don't even, the ripple effect goes on and on.
Yeah. That's wonderfully put. Thank you so much, Dr. Rashi. Thank you so much. Your bar question was awesome. Answer was awesome. Thank you so much. And we will see you soon again. We probably have another session planned. And have an awesome week.
Thank you. On my just takeaway message, track your periods, track your mood.
Definitely.
Everybody,
Very
even if
important.
you're not having a problem, track them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bilkul.
Hey there! Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Raise the Brow. Follow the podcast on Instagram and YouTube. And hey, slide into our DMs because we would love to hear from you. Don't forget to share the podcast or this very episode with anyone who you think needs this in their life.